of Manhattan. Suddenly there was Shigematsu New Museum, a very impressive little building, a building that didn't want to intimidate with scale, but with intelligence and subtlety. It was the beginning also of a relationship with the new museum, because in 2011 Lisa invited me to give a lecture, but also to exhibit an exhibition on preservation on Koolhaas that I had first shown in Venice. And in an indirect way, the new museum acted as a kind of bridgehead with Europe, in which I could convey ideas that had preoccupations after Koolhaas countryside. In 2016, there was a very significant moment. The new museum invited us to a competition for an extension, but what the interesting thing for us was that it was not simply an extension, but a complement or a counterpart. We didn't want to, again, compete with scale, but we interpreted the commission as if there were two parts that were kind of finally united and that would form a single new entity. And I think we now have reached the kind of moment that you can really see or experience that. For physical reasons, I couldn't come to Manhattan, and to my great regret, I cannot see the way in which Massimiliano has been using the building, but I will come as soon as possible to look with my own eyes, but I'm sure it will be kind of exciting, and I hope it is more exciting than we could anticipate. And I want to kind of finally thank Shohei, because he was able to translate a couple of quite complex and subtle intentions, actually a mentality, into architecture.
Good morning. I saw that for the first time, so I have to change my speech a little bit. And I'm thrilled that Webma's first cultural public building in New York City is for an institution that has consistently championed new voices and new ways of thinking. The new museum has always stood slightly apart, not just reflecting culture, but actively shaping it. The museum at 235 Bowery opened the same year, this building, when I moved to New York. So over the years, I watched its growth parallel to my own experience in the city, both evolving through constant change, as you know, experimentation and reinvention. To now take part in this new chapter of the museum feels both personal and incredibly meaningful. Thank you. Our engagement with New Museum began in 2011. It was kind of repeated, so maybe I should have changed this part. But when I co-curated Koolhaas with Rem, exhibition on preservation presented on this very site, this site. At that time, we were questioning how institutions negotiate time, what to keep, what to transform, and how to remain relevant. Those early conversations stayed with us. When we were doing competition, they allowed us to approach this project not just as a building, but as a continuation of an institutional trajectory, one that is inherently forward-looking, yet deeply aware of its context. Since then, the new museum has expanded not only in size, but in scope. Its role today extends far beyond exhibitions, through initiatives like New Ink, educational programs, residencies, and public events. It operates more like a cultural laboratory, an incubator for ideas, production, and exchange. This evolution raises a fundamental question: what should a museum be today? Museums are no longer just spaces for art, They are spaces for people. In many ways, they are among the last truly public spaces in the city. They have to support gathering, participation, and dialogue while remaining open to change. Architecture, therefore, cannot be fixed or singular. It needs to be both robust and nimble, capable of accommodating what we know today and what we cannot yet anticipate. This thinking became central to our design approach. From the beginning, the project presented a unique condition, unlike the most museum expansions, which extend historic or iconic buildings. Here we were asked to work alongside a relatively new and already highly resolved building by Sana, a Japanese duo. Rather than treating the addition as subordinate or dominant, we became interested in the relationship between the two, how two buildings can coexist, collaborate, and even challenge one another. We thought less about designing a single object and more about designing a pair. The result is a new museum composed of two distinct yet highly connected buildings, independent but in constant dialogue. One is more vertical and introverted, the other more horizontal and extroverted. Together they create a broader spatial and programmatic repertoire for the institution. You know through your experience how difficult it is to find a perfect pair. Very difficult. And not like humans, you can't easily replace it. So it was very, of course, ongoing discussion with the museum and difficult. But what we did, we aligned the program of new building with the existing one. So stacking galleries, education spaces, and production areas in parallel so that the two can operate as one. This allows for expanded galleries and can function either as a continuous horizontal spaces or as discrete groups, giving curators, Massimiliano and co, a greater flexibility. At the same time, connections between the buildings through bridges, shared circulation, and visual links enable a fluid experience across both. Between them, we introduced an interstitial zone that became a kind of public spine. This includes the atrium stair, which you probably already experienced, which connects the building vertically while also acting as a social and visual condenser. It is not just a means of movement, but a space where art, people, and the city intersect. Equally important was how the building meets the city, where you can see behind us. The Bari has long been a place of artistic experimentation, and the new museum has played a key role in its recent transformation. We wanted the expansion to contribute to that ongoing energy. Instead of filling the site, we carved it out, creating a public plaza at the corner of Bowery and Prince. This space acts as both an entry and a gathering point, accommodating the museum's growing audience while also extending its activities into the public realm. The building itself became more open and communicative. The facade reveals the circulation and inner workings of the museum. The atrium stair terraces and upper level spaces make visible the diversity of activities happening inside. From exhibitions to education to production, at night the building becomes almost like a lantern, exposing its inner life to the city. In this sense, the project is not just an expansion, but a shift in how the museum engages with its audience. It transforms the institution from a place you enter into something you encounter, something that participates in the everyday life of the city. At the top of the building, spaces for artists, education, and events come together as a kind of a brain or incubator. These programs are distinct yet interconnected, creating opportunities for collaboration and exchange between artists, students, and the public. This reflects the new museum's ongoing commitment to supporting not only the presentation of art, but also its production. Ultimately, our goal was not to simply to add more space, but to create a platform, one that can evolve with the institution and amplify its mission. A platform that allows new ideas to engage, circulate, and resonate beyond the walls of the museum. This project was made possible through the efforts of everyone here today, especially through unprecedented times, as you remember, last 10 years. I would like to thank, of course, Lisa, Massimiliano, Dennis, Karen, and the entire new museum team. Your vision and commitment to experimentation have been a constant source of inspiration. Thank you for trusting us with such an important moment in the museum's history. To the Board of Trustees, JK, thank you for your guidance and support and for engaging with us so directly throughout the process, quite directly, yes. We are also grateful to our collaborators, Cooper Robertson, our executive architect, Siami, of course, and the many consultants who contributed to realizing this project. And of course, to the OMA team, and especially Jake Forster, who is standing there, raise your hand, who led the project with incredible dedication and care. He was a project architect. Finally, on personal note, our studio is actually just a couple of blocks away on the other side of Prince Street. So you can actually, we were seeing the construction through the telescope. It was the first time we could actually manage the site through the telescope. And now seeing the building realized and see it became part of the city's cultural life, it is incredibly rewarding. And we look forward to seeing how the new museum continues to grow, evolve, and inspire in the years to come. Thank you.